Hello and welcome to the RA facility here at Southwest Minnesota State in Marshall, Minnesota, as we prepare to see the Lady Mustangs take on the University of Minnesota State Mankato Mavericks. Should be a good game. Joining me today, I have Stephen Shega.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here with you all.
Hopefully, we'll see a good game between these two. Stephen, what do you have to say?
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting game here for the Mustangs. They have not quite gotten off to the start that they had wanted. Obviously, they are 1-7 on the season and 0-3 in the NSIC, so not the greatest start. And to make matters just a little bit worse, the Mavericks are 6-0 on the season, 3-0 in the NSIC, so they are undefeated this season. So it's definitely going to be a very, very tough test for the Mustangs tonight.
Yeah, Mankato is one of the better teams in the whole country. They were ranked to finish third in the conference at the beginning of the season. So they have certainly gotten off to a strong start here, going 6-0 so far and 3-0 in conference, as opposed to the Mustangs going 0-3 so far in the NSIC. What else do we have?
Well, last year we did something called Shega Says, where I give one real sort of key to the game and say if such and such happens, then the Mustangs will win. So we're going to try that again this year. I wasn't wrong last year, so
Never.
Well, no, I wasn't wrong once last year. So we're going to try to keep that tradition going. Maybe that's a stupid thing to do, but the Mustangs.
You know what they say about stats?
What do they say about stats?
80% of them are made up on the spot.
Yeah, well, there you go, Adam Hudak, ladies and gentlemen. So the key to this game is going to be rebounding for the Mustangs. I had a few stats here that SMSU has been out-rebounded 334 to 266 for an average of 8.5 a game. So they've been out-rebounded by 8.5 a game. And for the Mavericks, they've averaged 40.3 rebounds per game as opposed to holding their opponents to 31.8 a game. So they've held them to roughly 8 less as well. So if the Mustangs can go ahead and out-rebound the Mavericks, they should win this game. It's also worth knowing that they've been out-rebounded in 6 of their 8 games this season. So when you're only 1-7, you got to look to see, well, what are we doing wrong? And rebounding would be a strong indicator.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be tough. The Mavericks have a big force inside in Allie Wilkinson.
She is what you call a double-double machine. She may be related to the Timberwolves' Kevin Love, but she is averaging 10.3 rebounds a game as well as 19.8 points per game. So she is a force. That's going to be another key too, is that if they can, maybe hold her to not a double-double.
Yeah.
Maybe just, I don't know, 40 points and only 8 rebounds. Maybe that'd be better.
40 points and 8 rebounds. I don't know if that'd be doing it still.
Well, maybe not. But, Allie Wilkinson, they're definitely going to need to go ahead and kind of body her up in the paint and control the glass and make sure that she's not able to get some easy points.
And she's also the reigning NSIC Player of the Week for the week of December 10th. In 2 games, she scored 55 points and pulled in 27 rebounds. So she is on fire as of late.
Yeah.
And then lastly,
one other thing I wanted to mention was that SMSU's been outscored in the first half by quite a bit, 294 to 190. So they really need to get off to a great start scoring. Otherwise, they're going to have to play catch-up. And obviously, that hasn't been working for them so well in their first 8 games.
yeah, and Mankato also, they have outscored their opponents by a total of 70 points so far this season. So it's going to be vital for the Mustangs to get off to a good start.
Absolutely.
One quick fact for this game, Mankato State has won the last 11 meetings between these two teams, going back to 2004-2005. So it is going to be a tough test here for the Mustangs at home today. We have not won a game yet at home. The only victory was on the road. But a victory against the Mavericks would be a great jumpstart for this home season here for the Mustangs.
Absolutely. It's kind of a, David and Goliath, overused analogy, but it's true. I mean, really, it's going to be a tough game for the Mustangs. And the national anthem, I believe, will be coming up here shortly.
Yes, so we will leave you for just 1 minute or so, and we will be right back after the national anthem is completed. So stay tuned.
Southwest Minnesota State University, where private school atmosphere meets public school cost. Programs like culinology, agronomy, and environmental science set the standard nationwide, where grad placement rates are over 97%. And the school invests in you, putting over $80 million back into the university. Southwest Minnesota State University, where you belong.
If you've had a stroke, the chances are good that you could have another one. But it doesn't have to happen. You could be a stroke smart star.
I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising again.
I'm keeping my blood pressure and cholesterol levels under control.
After 35 years, I quit smoking.
I always take my medicine.
If you take steps to improve your health, you'll greatly reduce your risk of another stroke. Talk to your doctor and go to stroke.org today.
I'm not going to have another stroke.
Hello and welcome back to the RA facility as we get to introducing the starting lineups for both teams. Starting out for Minnesota State Mankato, the Mavericks. In the backcourt, we will have number 3, Aubrey Davis, a sophomore at 5'7". Also at guard, Allie Hafer, also at 5'7", a junior. And we have Carly Gengenbacher, also a guard at 5'10", and she is a junior. And for the front court, we have Jamie Breshnahan, who is a forward at 6'1" and a sophomore. And rounding out, as we talked about earlier, Allie Wilkinson, number 42, a forward, 6 foot tall junior. And they're coached by Allie Thesey. And for the Mustangs, starting in the backcourt, Michaela Sadoff, freshman guard, standing at 5'10". Also a guard, number 14, Bree Holloman, a 5'8" junior. Number 23, Rebecca Rawling, also a guard, 5'9", junior. For the front court for the Mustangs, Hannah Beeler, a forward at 6 feet tall. She's a junior, and she wears number 25. And rounding out the starting lineup for the Mustangs, number 45, Allison Nagel, a forward, 6'3", junior.
And Allison Nagel has kind of exploded here after she scored just 11 points in her first 4 games. She exploded for 65 points in her last 4 games. So she's kind of got off to a hard start here in the last few games.
Yeah, both her and Rebecca Rawling transferred in here from Iowa State Community College, or excuse me, Iowa Central Community College, and they've both had a big impact on the game, on the team so far.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see how that plays out, because it's like, well, okay, so she's kind of gotten off to a slow start, and you wonder when you have so many, new faces coming into a team. Obviously, it takes a little while to gel, and so we'll see if tonight happens to be the night where things kind of come together for the Mustangs.
Allison Nagel, she does stand at 6'3", but she can shoot the 3 ball just as well. Saw her out here in warm-ups, knocking down shot after shot from the corner.
Yeah, and speaking of long shots, 3-pointers. After they made 27 3-pointers in their first 4 games, they've only connected on just 13 3-pointers in their last 4 games. So if they can get some of the outside shots to fall, that might be a benefit for them.
And we are ready for the tip-off here. The Mustangs will control it. And Rowling takes it to the hoop and puts it in for the layup. Mustangs off to an early lead here, 2-0.
It's always a good start. Try to start inside and work your way out if you can. Establish some presence in the paint.
Good defense. That ball is tipped away by Nagel and out of bounds, so Mavericks will hold on to the ball. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. This is going to be a big matchup here inside with Nagel and both taking on both Jamie Bresnahan and Allie Wilkinson. And we get a jump ball here. Mavericks will keep it since the Mustangs had won the tip-off.
And Allison Nagel provides some nice height here for the Mustangs going up against Allie Wilkinson.
And there, Wilkinson misses an inside shot. Sadoff takes it down the floor, some contact, and the ball goes out of bounds off the Mavericks.
Got a little tangled up there. Looks like a little knee to the head for a minute.
As long as nobody gets hurt.
Yeah, everybody looks to be just fine.
Oh, Sadoff picks up her dribble and kind of gets trapped up there top of the key, but she is helped out there by her team. Shot by Nagel is just off the rim. Mavericks coming back the other way now.
It'll be interesting to watch too, to see if how much they try to get into Wilkinson early. Well, there you go, right to her.
It was a nice move. She somebody got a piece of the ball going to the rim though. She wasn't able to get it up all the way. Nagel now back down. Nice turnaround jumper.
Yeah, and this is my first time seeing them play, but obviously right away Nagel looks to be pretty aggressive here in the paint early on.
And that's going to be important for the Mustangs, because if Nagel can have a big game, hopefully she'll make Wilkinson play a little bit more defense. That really wears you down on the other side of the floor.
Absolutely. It's hard to get a double-double when you're just tired. So,
yeah.
I mean, not that I would know. I've never gotten a double-double, but
I haven't either. And there's the turnover by the Mustangs. Poor pass. Mavericks bring the ball back down the other way. Three-point attempt by Davis. Little long. Rebound by Rawling.
That was the long three, too. Jordan Miller-esque.
Yeah, we will see the men play right after this game. And that ball goes off of Hannah Beeler. Trying to go to the rim, loses the handle on it, and goes off her shoulder out of bounds.
That's her second turnover so far in the game, just a few minutes in.
Mustangs are definitely going to have to try to limit those turnovers. You can't be turning the ball over against a better team.
Absolutely not.
Like the Mavericks. So far, the Mustangs look good on defense.
Yeah, they're playing strong, and I don't want to speak too soon, but yeah, they had held them to doing pretty well. Allie Wilkinson has yet to score in the game.
And they really can't do anything against a basket like that. Bresnahan with a nice turnaround jumper. Those kind of shots are really hard to defend.
Absolutely.
Holloman with the drive there, and the ball is tipped on her attempt to kick it out to Rawling in the corner. So the Mustangs will keep the ball. 15 seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, both teams have been pretty active with their hands, just kind of getting a lot of deflected balls here for a minute, and making people pick up the dribble like you see right there. Exactly, she has nowhere to go. Yeah, a lot of active defense so far from both teams.
Shot clock runs out. She's able to get the shot off, is Holloman. No good, though, off the back of the iron. Good screen there. And Hafer with the made basket. Mavericks now up 7-4.
That is the third turnover so far here by the Mustangs.
And fouls committed there by Sadoff as Davis goes to the rim. So she will be shooting two.
As you watch the Mustangs here early on, trailing by 3 here, 7-4. One thing that I'm noticing just immediately is that last year, from the point guard position, it seemed like they had a lot of trouble. Having someone on the team who could really ball, handle the ball well, who could get around people, and it looks to be a little bit more of the same this year, at least early on.
Yeah.
You have to be able to penetrate. I think I can think of at least twice now that they've had to pick up their dribble at the top just up at the top, and that isn't going to do you any favors when you have to sit there and hold the ball for a good 5 seconds.
Yeah, Davis makes one of her 2 free throws, and as you say that, Michaela Sadoff is the point guard for the Mustangs. She has the ball right now, and she's a freshman, so it's going to be a learning process, getting used to the college game.
Sure.
Everybody moves a little faster. You're no longer the best player in your conference. Everybody who plays collegiate ball was a top performer for their team and known to be the star. So now when you go up against players of your caliber or higher all the time. It really takes an adjustment and challenges you to better your own game.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of good ball movement from the Mavericks so far. A lot of nice passes leading to open shots like that one.
Yeah, Ashley Olsen knocks down that open three-pointer. It seems like for the Mustangs, they get the ball across half court, and the offense just kind of becomes stagnant right away. There's no screens.
Yeah, you see
Everybody just kind of moves to their, and traveling is called.
Yep.
Everybody's kind of just moving to their positions and just waiting for Sadoff to get the ball into position for the play.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see the difference here, between the two teams. Whereas the Mavericks are, they have nice spacing on the floor. Making the passes around for open looks. Using off-ball screens to get open. The Mavericks just kind of, dribble. All right, somebody going to do something. So we're gonna have to pay attention to that as the game goes on here. As they're down 11-6, the Mustangs are, with about 15 minutes left in the game.
And that's one of those changes that, reaching foul in there, called on the Mustangs. But that's one of those things that the coaches need to be adjusting. If they see that the Mavericks are going to be pressing as soon as we get the ball across half court, you got to make a change so that you're able to get into some sort of offensive sets.
Sure, that'll be interesting to see as the game goes along. I mean, even changes here in the first half, but especially in the second half. I mean, they already have 4 turnovers, so they need to find a way to improve upon that. So I think you'll see some changes again there.
Good defense there.
Yeah. See if they can do in the fast break here. Well, draws the foul. It's number 14, Bree Holloman.
I like the decision to be aggressive to the hoop
in
transition.
Well, I mean, the thing for them is if they're having trouble here, in the half-court offense, bringing it up, well, then you really have to try to be aggressive when you have the opportunities to go and run the floor.
Gets the friendly roll there on that first shot. A little short, but off the front and back of the iron and in for the first one. And Holloman is good on both free throw attempts, bringing the score to 8-11. Mustangs trailing. 5.5 minutes into the game.
So far, a pretty close game here, 11-8.
Like we talked about, if the Mustangs can just hang in there in the first half and not be down by 20 at halftime, that really changes the way the game is the flow of the game, and put a little bit more pressure on your opponent.
I mean, as we said before, when they get outscored so badly in the first half, you're not even really in it for the second half. So far so good.
Jesse Watts there commits the foul as Davis drives to the hoop. The Mavericks caught the Mustangs there on a mismatch. Allison Nagel, a 6'3" forward, was matched up out on the perimeter against the 5'7" point guard Aubrey Davis, and she was able to drive by her and get to the hoop and draw the foul.
It's interesting for the Mavericks. I mean, you're seeing a lot of penetration into the lane and then kicking out here for a lot of wide open threes, and they're shooting 2 for 4 from the field, so they're shooting 50% from the 3-point range as Minnesota State, as opposed to only 1 3-point shot for the Mustangs thus far.
And that definitely has something to do with the turnovers so far, 4 already for the Mustangs, like you mentioned. So hard to get shots off when you don't have possession of the ball.
That's extremely true.
Nagel gets rejected, trying to go up out of bounds. Mustangs will keep the ball. 15 seconds left on the shot clock now.
And you sure are seeing just a lot of, having to pick it up and looking for people to come over to help from the Mustangs so far.
Mavericks are playing very tight defense. And that is a nice shot there. Watts.
That was a nice shot, but even more by Nessa Roche. That was really great anticipation. She made a nice pass to get it to a wide open play underneath the basket.
Yeah, they found the mismatch. Watts was against the 6 inches shorter than her, Ashley Olsen of the Mavericks. So when you have 6 inches on somebody and you're down inside the paint, good idea to back them in and put that ball in as we see another made basket by the Mavericks.
Ooh, 3-on-1 there, and not a great awareness of passing out to the open person, but setting it back up, which is the right thing to do.
Degler's coming off a 21-point performance game. It was a career high for her. Unfortunately, the Mustangs were not able to come away with a victory that day, but she is playing very well so far, and she's the leading scorer for the Mustangs on the season with 11 points a game, was it?
Yeah, I believe so. Let me take a look here. For the Mustangs, it was, 11.3 points a game.
Oh, traveling called.
That'll be their 5th turnover so far of the game, as opposed to only 1 for Minnesota State. Not to keep harping on it, but that is one of those stats where you look at the end of the game, and if you have a lot more turnovers than the other team, it's just really difficult to win.
Turnovers will kill you. Gives the other team the opportunity to have some fast break points. And the ball is stuck, so the Mustangs will get the ball back on the jump ball.
Now the question becomes, how do they get it down? I know I'm not going to be able to get it down.
Me neither.
No. I think
both of us with our towering height.
Yeah, I think that if you put both of us together, that you would probably have, I don't know, one average-sized basketball player. There we go. Throws the ball up there. Gets it knocked down. Yeah, head coach Allison Kruger just kind of laughing, like, what are you going to do?
I'd like to see one of those refs get up there and knock that ball out.
Yeah, I know. See how big their vertical is.
Nice entry pass there. And we have a jump ball going the other way now.
Wow. Who is that? That was
Rawling, I believe.
Yeah, Rawling. I don't know what she did there. She kind of took an unnecessary jump to, I don't know, emphasize the point she had.
I think.
Yeah, it was weird.
Trying to get a foul call there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the deal was, but it didn't work regardless.
So again, we see the Mavericks coming back. Seems like they've held the ball for the entire game so far.
Mm-hmm.
And another three-pointer there. Ashley Olsen, that is her second made three-pointer, I believe, of the game.
I'm going to really try hard not to make any Mary Kate Ashley Olsen references other than this one. So you're welcome. I'm going to try to keep that to a minimum.
Well, there is no Mary Kate on the team, but so I guess that kind of ruins that opportunity anyway.
So many jokes I can make, but
the Olsen twins have not been relevant for a good 10 years, I'd say.
Yeah, well, I'm showing my age. What are you going to do?
I'm going to call you out on it. That's what I'm going to do.
That's fine. You should. The Mavericks now kind of opening up a bit of a lead here, 18-10.
Nice jump stop.
That puts them up by double digits, 20-10.
Jamelia Hudnell puts in that jumper. Nice aggressive move to the hoop. There's a made basket.
Yeah, getting back inside, which seems to be their bread and butter.
And there we see the size taking over for the Mavericks.
Yeah, tit for tat there inside.
6'2" forward Lexi Olfers.
Yeah, pace picking up here a little bit. Some quick shots here early in the shot clock. Both teams just kind of dumping it inside and taking their chances.
Well, the Mustangs, as we talked about, we haven't seen a whole lot of performance out of their half-court game. So maybe they just have to get out and run. Just use a lot of substitutions, get a lot of players in there like the men's team usually does. Fresh bodies in there all the time, and lots of contact there.
Yeah, I think both of those shots could have perhaps warranted a foul call, but referees thought differently.
And we get a make-up call on the other end.
Yeah, I guess so.
For the wrong team.
Both teams, for the most part, playing pretty well on defense, though, actually. 2 steals for the Mustangs, 3 for Minnesota State.
And we have a timeout by the Mustangs, so we will take a break. We'll be back with you here shortly. You're watching Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
Southwest Minnesota State University, where private school atmosphere meets public school cost. Programs like culinology, agronomy, and environmental science set the standard nationwide, where grad placement rates are over 97%. And the school invests in you, putting over $80 million back into the university. Southwest Minnesota State University,
Welcome back to
where you belong.
the RA facility here in Marshall, Minnesota, on the campus of Southwest Minnesota State. We are watching the Mustangs take on Minnesota State Mankato. And currently, the Mustangs trail by 8, 14-22.
Both teams off to a pretty good start as far as shooting. They're both shooting 50% from the field, and Minnesota State shooting 43% from the three-point line. The difference so far, as we talked about, has been turnovers so far. 7 for the Mustangs, as opposed to only 2 for Minnesota State. So, although both teams shooting well, turnovers are the story of the game so far.
And they usually will be. If one team has drastically more turnovers than the other, you know that is going to be a big factor in the outcome of the game.
It is worth noting that I did say in the beginning of the game that the one real key to the game, the Shega says for the game, would be the rebounds. So far, Minnesota State out-rebounding Southwest Minnesota by 2 rebounds, 8-6. So keeping it close so far. They're not getting dominated on the boards, which is a good thing.
Yeah, the biggest problem I see is that Mankato State has pulled in 5 offensive rebounds so far, and that will kill you.
Yeah, second chances. Second chances are difficult. Allison Kruger so far keeping her calm, even though the Mustangs are down by 9. She's looking composed,
which is a rare sight.
She is
regular Mustang basketball games.
If you've been at a game, you would know Allison Kruger is quite animated.
She's a fiery lady.
She is.
And again, we see kind of stagnant.
Yeah, the Mustangs seem to be at their best when they can, penetrate. Not like that necessarily, but when they can penetrate and have a player down in the post, give it to them. That's where they've really been at their best so far.
3-point attempt is all the way around the rim and out. And here they come back now, coming the other way. Holloman with the ball.
And Wilkinson so far, we talked about her for the Mavericks playing a huge role, being one of their best players, and offensively, she hasn't scored yet in this game. 0 from 3 from the field, and as you see, she just missed her last 3-point attempt.
3-point attempt is good. Rawlings knocks that down.
That'll help, just like that. They're down 6 as opposed to 9.
Big basket though. Ho ho.
Yeah, that was a non-call there.
Yeah.
Mustangs might have gotten away with a little shove, but
a little bit of a shove, yeah. Nagel gave Davis a nice little forearm there in the back.
Yeah. Thought I was watching wrestling for a minute, but
Mustangs ball though, so
yeah,
that's what counts.
Yeah, they're not complaining.
And there's Nagel with a good hard move to the hoop.
Yeah, she couldn't quite get it to go, but like I've said all along so far, getting inside and letting them shoot has been where they've been successful, and looks like they're going to that a little bit more. Nagel's doing pretty well in this game. She's impressive. She's quite, I don't know what I'm looking for, aggressive in the paint so far with her scoring.
She's a very good free throw shooter as well. If on the season she's 9 of 10, shooting 90%, and that is very impressive for somebody standing at 6'3".
Yeah, you don't usually see that from some of your post players. Now she's 10 of 11, I guess, on the season. Yep, we
jinxed it.
Oh, darn.
That was my fault. I shouldn't have mentioned it. It always happens. You see somebody go on a streak of made like 40 in a row, and the announcer's going to mention it, and he misses the next one. Yeah. So sorry about that, Allison Nagel. I think I'll take the blame for that. Ooh.
That was, I don't even know, honestly, where they're trying to go with that pass there. There's nobody in that general vicinity.
Maybe, lots of contact, and we get a charge. Good defense there, standing on the ground.
the Mustang bench on their feet. They like that call. Takes a lot of gumption to stand in there when a person's coming barreling towards you to try to get that charging call.
It sure does. I ref some intramural sports here on campus, and when I do women's basketball, the one thing I see is nobody ever wants to make any contact when they're driving.
Right.
It's a little different with the men's. They'll be willing to try to draw a block or a charge call, but the women will just pull up and shoot. And nobody even bothers to set up for a block.
Yep.
So
Nagel took a long three there, which is not necessarily her strong suit. She's only shooting 30% of threes on the season. Open lane.
Nice.
Ooh.
Nice block there by Rowling. Oh, no, excuse me. That was number 25, Hannah Beeler.
Yeah, a decent amount of blocks here so far in the game. 2 blocks for the Mustangs, 1 for Minnesota State. Wide open jump shot, missed.
Gets her own rebound, and we're going to get a block. Blocking called here. Number 21, Jesse Watts.
Not to be a negative Nancy, but the rebounding differential now went from being only down by 2 for the Mustangs to being down by 7. So 14-7, edge Minnesota State rebounding so far in the game.
Hanging in there though. 8 points isn't too bad.
No, it's especially when you talk about how badly they've been outscored in their first in the first half. They're hanging in there.
Carly Gangenbacher makes both free throws.
Mavericks have been on a few runs, but for the most part, Mustangs have been able to answer right back.
Got a foul away from the ball underneath the hoop. Allie Hafer was called for holding Ellen Degler underneath the basket, so that will reset the shot clock. A little too strong there by Holloman.
Yeah,
jumper.
outside shots not falling for him so far here. Only shooting 25% from distance, the Mustangs.
Oh, miscommunication there by the Mavericks.
Yeah,
Player decided to cut, and pass went to where she was standing previously, and a fan gets a souvenir.
Yeah, it didn't look like the ref was ready for that pass. He had to jump to get out of the way.
Nice pass inside.
Nice inside look once again.
Holloman with another lay-in. Oh, whoa. I don't know how that was not called traveling. She took 3 steps and didn't put the ball on the ground. Shot clock winding down.
Ooh.
They put up the 3, and that is good. Carly Gangenbacher knocks down that 3 as the shot clock is winding down.
That's rough. They had a hand in the face, they'll make it. And one thing now, as the Mustangs are down by 10, is that they've had 12 points in the paint, which is where they've been going. And when you're down by 10, you have a tendency to want to shoot from distance to try to make up that quickly. And it's important to remember there's still a lot of time left here in the game, especially when you're not shooting that well from 3-point range. Only 25% for the Mustangs, as opposed to 44% for Minnesota State.
Just under 6 minutes now left in the first half. Degler with a nice pump fake and goes in, but called for charge. Davis was set up there right in front of the hoop, and she just kind of barreled right through her.
Yeah, even if it would have been the charge, she was blocked anyhow, so not a great offensive possession, not one to hang your hat on, but
she made that nice pump fake to get free of the original defender, but good help defense there from the Mavericks. And that shot is blocked. Hannah Beeler gets a piece of that one, and now the Mustangs coming down the other way again. And we get a push out on the perimeter. Bree Holloman's having a really good game so far.
Yeah, Bree Holloman is playing quite well so far. She is 4 points so far, 2 rebounds in just 14 minutes. Made all our free throws. Rebecca Rowling, too, so far leading the Mustangs with 5 points on 2 of 3 shooting as far as scoring goes. And Ashley Olsen and Carly Gengabaku are tied for the lead for Minnesota State with 7 points apiece. Another
Bigler
turnover.
stripped there. And here comes Allie Wilkinson. Mustangs can't get a rebound. We get a jump ball, and that will go the way of the Mustangs. Coming the other way.
The Mustangs now in double digits in regards to turnovers, now with 10.
Stepping in for the Mustangs, number 11, Michaela Sotoff, and number 45, Allison Nagel.
Some of the starters coming back in here for the Mustangs. Both benches playing well, 29 points for bench players for, is that correct? Yeah, I guess it looks like it is, apparently. 29 bench points.
That can't be right.
That can't be right, never mind, disregard. A little issue there with the stats, apparently. But
saying that the Mustangs have 21 bench points while they have only scored 20.
Yeah, that's not right.
Big screen set there. Bonlander did not see that one coming. So they capitalize quickly on the being down a defender. Now the Mustangs coming back the other way on that missed three-point attempt. And then another turnover by the Mustangs. Up and down now. Nice pass by Davis inside. Wilkinson converts on that lay-in, and we have a timeout by the Mustangs. So we will take a break. We will be back. More Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
At Southwest Minnesota State University, our students come first. It's a commitment you can see in our new Regional Events Center, Residence Hall, Student Center, and Science Lab renovation. We've invested over $80 million in the past decade for top-notch facilities, and we're not stopping there. Southwest Minnesota State University, it's where you belong.
Welcome back to the RA facility here. Mustangs trail Mankato State 32-20 with 4:35 left here in the first half. And those turnovers, man.
Yeah, so far not boding well for the Mustangs. They have 12 turnovers so far, as opposed to only 5 for Minnesota State.
Mustangs have not scored in the last 2.5 minutes. And we see another turnover there.
Yeah, story of the game. Wide open layup.
There's number 24, Carly Gangenbacher again with the steal and the easy lay-in. Three-point attempt there, way off. Can't hit anything.
Yeah, 1 for 5 now. 20% from three-point range.
Oof, another open look. Wilkinson has the ball rattle out though. Good save, but the Mustangs going the other way now. Bonlander gets out on the break and misses the lay-in, gets their own rebound. Goes back up again, can't get it to fall. And the Mustangs will, well, at least they're getting rebounds.
I guess they're catching up in the rebounding category.
And there's the basket. Allison Nagel with the lay-in.
Well, persistence pays off, I guess.
Short on the shot attempt there by the Mavericks, coming back the other way now. Nagel for 3, and that is good. cut it back to a 9-point lead.
Yeah, cut it back to 34-25. Minnesota State leading.
3 minutes left now in the first half. So Mustangs have scored 5 unanswered points now. Tough shot attempt there by Gangenbacher. Can't get it to fall. Now the Mustangs, nice pass. What a pass. And that is good. Bree Holloman with the make. And Mankato now with the timeout. So we will take a break quickly. Mustangs making a little bit of a comeback here to end the first half. We will be back shortly. You're watching Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
American Hero.
I want to help people. I want to make a difference. I want to get things done. Could I be a hero?
She had to apply.
I should give this a try.
There she met people who shared her passion, people who wanted to make change, people who joined AmeriCorps. They cleaned beaches, they helped wildlife. Together they served, together they made a difference. Together they were heroes.
In AmeriCorps, you can be a hero too.
Join AmeriCorps.
Welcome back. And following 3 made baskets in a row by the Mustangs, Mavericks call a timeout and just want to calm the nerves down a little bit as one of the Mavericks players loses their shoe.
That's not important. Doesn't seem to mind.
Gonna have to make do without it for now.
Yep. Picks it up and tosses it to the side. There's number 3.
Good defense there again. Nice contest. Nagel comes down with the rebound, and again, the Mustangs running back the other way now.
Number 21, they're having a little bit of difficulty. She slid around there for a moment as she...
Shoeless.
Yeah. I don't think she knows where the shoe is either.
Yeah,
there she goes sliding a little bit more.
One of her teammates threw it to the Mustang bench. I don't think there she's coming for it. Shoeless Stephanie Thomas.
It's kind of fun to watch.
And lace those bad boys up a little tighter.
You know, one thing that the Mustangs do have going for them here is their assists. They have 7 assists on the game as opposed to only 5 from Minnesota State. So we talked about, ball movement, and it looks like perhaps they're picking that up here a little bit.
Yeah, and they've been reducing the turnovers now. I mean, they do have 13, but
right.
Tough shot there inside.
At one point, the lead for Minnesota State was 14. Now it's just down to 7, 34-27.
And another turnover. Hafer loses control of her dribble. Ball goes out of bounds. Mustangs have a chance to cut this to 5 points here on this possession.
One thing that you can't see on your screen, too, is that the Mustangs, you can tell that they're starting to get a little bit more into the game here. Feeling some hope. See Allison Kruger smiling, happy about the way things are going.
And that's a rare sight.
I know. So some of the players here, pumping their fist, and you can tell that they're just really sort of sensing that they can get back in this game.
And you get a foul called. And so the Mustangs will be shooting 1-1.
Down 7 points, but the momentum seems to be in their favor as of right now, cutting it down by 7 points, cutting down the lead by 7 points.
Rebecca Rawling will go to the line for 1-1. So see a couple converted makes here would be great. First one is good. That's the all-important one when you're shooting 1-1.
Yeah, and Rawling having a nice game here, shooting 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting. Made her 1 3-point attempt.
And she makes both free throws, so a 5-point game.
34-29.
Very quickly back from what was a 14-point deficit. High off the glass, looks like it was gonna go in. Can't get the roll though, and now tries to run a little trap there underneath the basket, but they back off, do the Mavericks. So Mustangs come down again, set a nice high screen up there.
Allison Nagel, that was her 4th rebound on the game. On track so far for a double-double. 8 points, 4 rebounds so far in the half. Yeah, she's just looking at Allie Wilkinson and says, all right, well, I can have a double-double too, I guess.
Yeah, we really haven't seen much from Wilkinson at all so far today.
Yeah, she's been pretty quiet. Only 4 points, 2 of 8 shooting, only shooting 25%. Not made any of her threes, only 3 rebounds. So quiet game so far for Allie Wilkinson.
Roche with the drive to the basket there. Short little Anissa Roche, 5'3", gets the ball up over a towering defender in Lexi Olfers at 6'2" with that lay-in attempt. Couldn't get it to drop, but got her own rebound and missed the putback.
About a 3-second differential here between the shot clock and the game clock.
I am not a fan of no backcourt violation in college basketball. Ooh, nice make there by Davis.
That was a tough shot, but she found a way to make it go in.
5 seconds left for the Mustangs. Sadoff loses a dribble. 2-1, and they are not able to get a shot off. Well, that's a little anticlimactic for the Mustangs, but good performance pulling it back. Half the deficit that they had.
Yeah, all things considered, not awful. Only down by 7 here to a team that is so far undefeated on the season. Mustangs losing this one at the half, 36-29.
So, we're going to take a break for halftime. We will be back here with a few minutes before the game's second half begins for some stats and analysis. So, stay tuned. You are watching Mustang basketball on KSSU TV. Welcome back to the RA facility here in beautiful Marshall, Minnesota, on the campus of Southwest Minnesota State University. We are at halftime of the game between the Lady Mustangs and Minnesota State Mankato, the Mavericks. Mavericks currently lead 36-29 at the half, and the Mustangs were able to make a nice little run right before the first half ended. But before we get to that analysis, let's go over some scores from around the NSIC. So Concordia is leading Sioux Falls at the half by 20. Augustana and Winona State are also at the half. Augustana has a 3-point lead there. Wayne State is trailing Upper Iowa by 3 points at halftime. When we were given our score update, Minnesota Duluth and Minnesota State Moorhead were tied at 11 with 6 minutes left in the first half.
Barn burner.
Oh yeah. St. Cloud State is trailing Northern State by 9 points at halftime. University of Mary is handedly defeating Bemidji State by 16 right now with 2 minutes left in the first half, and Minot State is getting destroyed by Minnesota Crookston by 24 points at halftime.
Some good math. And you didn't even use a calculator for those. You just
simple math is my forte.
Oh, good. And apparently the forte of Minnesota State so far in this game has been forcing turnovers. They forced 13 for the Mustangs. They have 8 steals on the night, which is pretty incredible. So there's a lot of things to look at. Turnovers certainly one of the bigger ones for Minnesota State.
Yeah, with the 13 turnovers for the Mustangs, fortunately for them, I mean, Mankato has capitalized, but not to the extent that is a backbreaker for you. They've only scored 12 points off of those 13 turnovers, so they're only making baskets on less than half of those turnover opportunities.
And as the game goes on, I mean, Minnesota State started off pretty hot from the field. Now they're only shooting 39% from the field and 36% from three-point range. So one other thing I want to touch on, the big point in Shega says was rebounds. I said that if Southwest out-rebounded Minnesota State, they would win. Currently, Minnesota State has 20 rebounds to 18 for the Mustangs.
So they're keeping it close.
Indeed they are.
Mustangs usually lose the rebound game by 8.
Yeah, by about 8.5.
And the Mavericks usually win the rebounding game by about 8.5. So keeping it close. And also going along with that, Shega says, Allie Wilkinson of Mankato, the Mustangs have been doing a pretty good job of slowing her down.
Yeah, for someone that averages a double-double over 20 points, or right about 20 points a game and about a little over 10 rebounds. So far in this game, only 4 points, only 3 rebounds. She's 2 of 9 shooting. So they've done, Mustangs have done a great job of really limiting Allie Wilkinson so far in this game.
Seen a couple missed baskets here now to start the second half. Mustangs come back down now for their second possession. Shot clock winding down. 5 seconds left. We get, what is the call? Their charge.
Yeah, it was interesting. I was watching that one pretty closely. It didn't look like to me like she had her feet set, but the refs thought otherwise, so we'll obviously defer to them.
Yeah, we don't have much input in the call anyway.
No, we don't, unfortunately.
I believe that's the second charge drawn by Davis, though, so she's been doing a good job of getting her feet set and getting in the way of the ball carrier.
Yeah, really being aware of what's going on.
Both teams shooting right about 40% for the first half.
Just some miscommunication there for the Mustangs as number 11, Michaela Zadoff, just kind of tossed it a little bit too far for their 15th turnover on the game. Little Euro step there.
Another offensive rebound. Cross-court pass to the corner and foul on the floor. Zadoff picks up another personal foul. That will be her second. in and out. Can't get it to drop. So the Mustangs will bring the ball back the other way. Both teams with one personal foul already here. Just over 2 minutes into the second half.
The fouls so far not playing a huge role. No one on either team has more than 2 fouls, so nobody in foul trouble as of right now.
Yeah, we only saw one trip to the line in that first half because of the bonus, and it was for the Mustangs. They were able to make both. And we will see some free throws here as Bree Holloman commits the foul there on the shot attempt.
Minnesota State shooting 75% from the free throw line in this game. Minnesota State 83%.
And there's some discussion on what the correct foul count is, so we will have to amend that. That is the 3rd team foul for the Mustangs, and Mankato does not have any so far this half.
Jesse Watts coming into the game for the Mustangs.
So good on the first free throw attempt. Here comes the second one. A little short.
Score remains 37-29. MSU leading SMSU.
Again, kind of seeing this, the offense that we saw in the first half. Nice turnaround jumper. Watts there. Has two defenders on her. Takes the contact, turns around, hits that jumper with the foul.
And a chance for an and one, and Watts, one of the more vocal or easily excitable players. Saw some emotion there with the fist pump as she turned around.
She gets very animated out there on the floor, and she does make her free throw. Mustangs cut it back to a 5-point deficit. Hanging in there.
5-point game. And as they tie it up, they also tie up the rebounding differential. Both teams with 23 rebounds. Make that 24 for the Mustangs.
Bet you're going to feel pretty stupid if the Mustangs aren't able to pull this off and end up winning the rebound game, though, aren't you?
You're right. I would.
That won't happen, though.
No, knock on wood.
We have faith in the Mustangs. They're looking really good today.
Yeah, they're, like I said, at one point the largest lead here was 14. Now they've cut it down to 5. That's no easy task.
And the turnovers have been a problem again. We've seen 15 now for the Mustangs. They do keep the ball here, but 15, they had 12 at the half, or 13 at the half, and that is, you usually don't want to see more than 13 or so for the entire game.
Right. I think the thing that the Mustangs have done,
and another turnover.
The thing they've done the best though is their defense. They have 4 blocks in the game. They're holding Minnesota State to only 33% shooting, and that's both from the floor and from the 3-point range.
There's a steal by Nagel, and yeah, you're right. Defense really turns into offense.
And Nagel's having a nice game here. 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block, 1 assist. Not too shabby.
No, that ball goes across half court into the back court, but it was tipped by Davis. So now Sadoff gets tied up and calls a timeout. So we'll take a quick break here. We are just about 4 minutes into the second half. Mustangs trail by 5. You're watching Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
You can eradicate polio. You can promote peace. You can feed the hungry. You can help children do better in school. Because you can get involved with Rotary. Because Rotary believes that by working together, you can do anything. Learn more at Rotary.org.
Welcome back to the RA facility here. Mustangs trailing Mankato State by 5. 16-12 left in the second half. Mustangs had to call a timeout. Sadoff got kind of tied up there as Nagel misses on that 3 and had to call a timeout. Good rebound there. Good hustle. Players going to the floor, and Wilkinson gets out on the break. Easy lay-in.
Allie Wilkinson.
And you don't want to let her get anything easy like that because you never know what can kind of boost a person's confidence. She's had a rough game so far, but had an easy layup there. Yet another turnover by the Mustangs.
Another miscommunication. Not a contact there. No foul call. Just going to be staying in the way of the Mavericks.
Checking in for the Mustangs, number 24, Ellen Degler.
Yeah, it's, I have to say, only being down 7 for the Mustangs, they've got to be, happy with that with 17 turnovers so far.
Three hit in the corner by Davis. Good shot attempt there. Pushes the lead back up to 10.
Yeah, Davis shooting 50% from the floor. Shooting well so far in the game.
Blocking foul called there out on the perimeter.
Maverick
It's going to be the second team foul for the Mavericks.
Her first personal foul, second team foul of the half. Checking in for the Mustangs, number 14.
Bree Holloman checking back into the game. She's been a playmaker so far here today. Doesn't have too many points, but she's just been around the ball and playing some solid defense. And we have another foul away even before the inbound occurs.
Maverick on number 3, Aubrey Davis, her second personal foul, third team foul of the half.
The coach here for the Mavericks, not extremely happy, hands on her hips, staring down the refs a little bit.
These kind of fouls really matter, though. If it's going to be a close game at the end, these little knick-knack ones that you can cause the other team to pick up or commit early in the half are going to play a big role later in the game if you can get into the bonus. Early. Oh, Olsen.
I'm predicting a timeout here pretty shortly by Coach Kruger.
Olsen has been spot on from three-point distance. That is her third make of the day.
She's shooting 75% from beyond the arc.
Foul before the shot.
And it is 45 to 32. 13-point lead for the Mavericks, almost equaling their largest lead of the game, which was 14 points. See if the Mustangs have it in them to make a little run here and try to make it interesting. Still plenty of time, 14 minutes left in the game.
Basketball is definitely a game of runs. And not the kind that you score in baseball.
It's true.
Holloman.
Bondlander.
Excuse me, Bondlander. Yes.
Yeah, that was
nope, I was right. Holloman.
You gotta have faith in yourself, man. Doing great.
Confidence.
And the coach over here, right next to me for the Mavericks, just yelled at the refs, "That is not a foul." So
yeah, not
she
happy
apparently
with
was not pleased.
That was a great shot, though, by Holloman.
Yeah, I mean, even with any kind of contact to make that go in, wasn't able to take advantage of the and one portion.
Wilkinson, yep. There we get a push, top of the key.
Let's take a look at how Wilkinson's been doing here. She started off slow, obviously 6 points. She's doing pretty well in rebounds. 7 rebounds so far in the game, so she's been a rebounding machine. But only shooting 30% from the field.
Which is very important, I think. Those post players generally are going to be shooting 50 to 60% when they're proficient at scoring like Wilkinson is. White ball, nice. Mustangs will be going the other way.
Yeah, Mavericks missed a gimme. They had kind of a wide open layup there and just bounced in, bounced out. Mustang ball, 45 to 34. Mustangs having a little bit of trouble trying to get it inside. There we go. A little bit of position down on the high post.
It looks like Nagel took a few too many steps there. No call. But yes, Allie Wilkinson is shooting 64% from the field so far this season. So holding her to 30% this game has been quite the accomplishment by the Mustangs.
Yeah, and you know, you would think, you know, if we would have said earlier that she was being held to 30% shooting, we would have thought that, you know, perhaps Mustangs would have been a little bit closer, but they're down 11 right now. Still plenty of time left once again in the game for the Mustangs to make a run.
Yeah, and like I was just talking about a minute ago, all of a sudden, Mankato State has 6 team fouls. So the next one, the Mustangs will be shooting 1-1 for the rest of these 13 minutes. And that pass goes a little too long. Had a lot of miscommunication so far. I think we've seen 5 or 6 passes.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those
that have
where
resulted in turnovers.
Yeah, where you have somebody on the perimeter trying to pass it into a post player, and they just, just have some miscommunication right now. 18 turnovers, 10 more than Minnesota State, who has 8. When you have 18 turnovers in a game, it's just not a good indicator. But still, they're in this, only down 11.
And another positive to come out of that on the defensive end is they get their own steal there, as if I were about to say that. But they've held Mankato State to only 6 fast break points. So to have 18 turnovers and only allow 6 fast break points, that's quite the accomplishment as well. They're getting back on defense, not allowing them to get those easy buckets.
Yeah, you know, as you look at the Mustangs right now, it looks like they're just a little bit too excitable. They're just, you know, if they have an open shot, they're just trying to get it off a little bit too quick as opposed to taking their time and, you know, having a good shot. So they got to just calm down here a little bit.
Mustang foul number 24, Ellen Degler.
And number 42 is coming back in.
Checking in for the Mavericks, number 42.
So you know what that means. Allie Wilkinson is going to be back in the game
Mustangs, number 25,
for the Mavericks. Double-double machine. Not a double-double yet in this game.
Open look off the back of the iron, but another offensive rebound. Oh, gonna get a foul called there on Hannah Beeler. Looking for the entry pass. She just gets a little too aggressive with the push in the back. And now that is the 6th team foul for the Mustangs. So if the game stays chippy here for the last 12 and a half minutes, we could see a lot of free throw attempts for both teams.
Ooh, that was a nice little spin move for Allie Wilkinson down to the post. Now 4 of 11 from the field.
Offensive plays like that really show to demonstrate why she has been such the scoring machine she has been this season.
And when you're the best player in your team, you're of course going to have nights where you're a little bit off. So you just have to keep working at it. And she's been rebounding well. And that was an example there, kind of what I was talking about earlier for the Mustangs. It just throwing up a shot that is kind of an ill-advised shot.
Yeah. Shot wasn't open.
Took it anyways.
Holloman had 2 people in her face, and she decided to shoot it anyway, even though there was still 7 seconds left on the shot clock.
Number 23, Rebecca Rowland.
Mustangs just have to keep fighting, though. Being aggressive.
Allison Kruger asked for a timeout. She even said please, so the refs gave her one.
Very generous of them.
And this is going to be a 30-second timeout.
So we will take a break. We will be back here in 30 seconds. More Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
They say America is the land of opportunity. But today, 1 out of every 6 children lives without enough. That's nearly 13 million of us living below the poverty line, struggling every day just to hang on. This is America. Together, we can do so much. Will you help? Go to povertyusa.org today and get involved.
Welcome back to Mustang basketball here on KSSU TV. Following a timeout from the Mustangs, the Mavericks are in possession of the ball, leading by 13 here with 11:45 left in the game.
47-34. Some full court press here for the Mustangs, trying to get something going.
pick. Nothing come of it though. Oh, I don't know about that.
Head coach Allison Kruger is not happy. Yelling at the ref, she's telling them that if they would have called the travel, they wouldn't have had to make that call. I'm just paraphrasing, but
yes.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. I'm not a fan of coaches yelling at referees. As an official myself on a twice a week basis,
no.
It doesn't get you any favors.
Right.
We'll say that. And I guess my personal philosophy is you can't yell at the referees if you're down by 14.
Right.
Because something's not going right for your team.
Yeah, it's
probably all calls.
Probably more out of frustration than anything. And now the Mavericks take their largest lead of the game up by 15, 49-34, with just over 11 minutes left to play in the game.
Some good ball movement here, but you get tied up and jump ball is called. Mustangs will keep possession. Only 10 seconds left on the shot clock, though. Five seconds.
Get it inside.
Nagel, nice lay-in.
Yeah, that's been where they've really succeeded so far, is getting inside the Nagel now with 10 points.
Mustangs attempt to trap again. I don't really understand the point of the full court press with no 10-second backcourt violation. I mean, you can get a turnover, but
yeah,
if you can steal the ball. But,
yeah, I think they're just trying to hope for a turnover, or hope they can kind of get their hands on something. Allison Kruger here getting a little bit more animated.
Yeah, the lead is back to 15 points for the Mavericks. Nagel goes to the line. But I want to talk about that last possession. That was a very nice entry pass by Hannah Beeler for getting the ball to Nagel for her to get that lay-in right as the shot clock was winding down.
Yeah, it was smart basketball, and we haven't seen that so much in this game. We haven't seen too many smart passes, seen a lot of miscommunication that have led to turnovers, but that play in particular, very nice. Not able to take advantage of the first free throw. We'll see how it goes on the second.
Nagel does make the second, which is expected. She is a good free throw shooter, and we have another whistle on the Mustangs. So that means 1-1 now for Mankato State.
If you like free throws, you might like the rest of the game.
Yeah, 10.5 minutes left, both teams in the bonus.
Aubrey Davis at the line shooting 1-1.
The key is, for the Mustangs, you got to foul poor shooters.
Yeah, you got to be looking for players that aren't generally going to make them. Otherwise, it's just easy points. Ooh, nice idea.
Nice bounce pass. Michaela Sadoff with a great pass inside. Makes for the easy lay-in for Rebecca Rowling. A nice jump shot there. Gengenbacher with the hanging jump shot, falling away from the hoop.
Yeah, use the glass to her advantage there. Banked it off, nice and soft.
Need to see some rotation from the Mustangs on offense. Everybody's just picking a spot and standing still.
Yeah, and you could actually see there on that position, you saw Allison Nagel just waving people to come around. She was trying to set a pick, and nobody was coming to use it. Getting a little frustrated.
Oh. And the basket is good. Count that. And one more possible. Gengenbacher will be going to the line. We got a timeout from the Mavericks. So let's talk about some stats here.
I was distracted by Allison Kruger. She's not pleased with her team right now. I didn't even let them get all the way over to their bench. She said, "Nope, we're meeting right here." She talked to me. Yeah, let's look at some stats right now. The Mustangs not shooting very well here, only 22% from three, and as we talked about all night, turnovers just a lot. 19 as opposed to 9 for Minnesota State.
Yeah. Mustangs have allowed the Mavericks 11 steals of those 19 turnovers. And I'd say probably 5, 6, or 7 of those have been just errant passes.
Yeah, it's been a lot of
miscommunication.
A lot of miscommunication, and I got to tell you, I think Allison Kruger right now is trying to just light a fire under her girls. She is. It's funny to see. You guys can't see it on TV, but Allison Kruger was just yelling at her girls. As soon as they turned around to walk away, she smiled. The assistant coach is like, "All right, that should do it." So let's see if that little speech inspires them or not.
Steven, your love for Allison Kruger is as deep as the oceans.
It's as deep as many oceans. It's interesting to be able to to see these things up close and to be able to share it with everyone watching. And Allison Kruger is one of the most animated coaches that you will perhaps ever see.
That's a friendly way of putting it.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to take that as a compliment.
The end one opportunity is a miss. Offensive rebound. Put back attempt. She gets fouled. So that means Lexi Olfers will be going to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, Minnesota State has not really been taking advantage of their free throw opportunities. The lead would be much larger, only shooting 64% from the line in this game.
First one is good. Pushing the lead now to 17, 56-39. 9-12 left in the game. It's just really slipped away from the Mustangs after working so hard to pull it back at the end of the first half.
Yeah, in the words of Ron Burgundy, this escalated quickly.
And we get a foul called. What are the words of Ron Burgundy?
That escalated quickly?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Haven't heard that one before.
No?
Except for on the internet.
Yeah, well.
A million other times.
You're welcome, nerds.
So we have a foul in the backcourt as the Mustangs attempt to bring it up the floor.
We said this, if you like free throws, you might like the rest of this game, and so far,
holding true.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of free throws so far. 11 for the Mustangs, 16 attempts for Minnesota State. So if I'm good at math, which I'm not, that'd be 37 free throws on the night.
Yeah, you're not good at math. That would be 28 now.
Yep, you're right. Yep.
Close, though.
Yeah.
Good effort.
That's all that matters in math.
I like your hustle.
I can do the math, though. The Mustangs are down by 15 at this point, 56-41.
That I will agree with you on. Some defense there.
Ooh. Players getting a little testy here, it looks like.
And Ashley Olsen.
It's like you're just baiting me to make an Olsen joke.
I was there. She missed her first three-pointer attempt of the game. And now the Mustangs not able to get rebound there as the Mavericks come away with it and bring it back up the court. And now that the Mustangs have committed 10 fouls, the Mavericks will be shooting 2 here on out.
That was some nice defense there.
Yep, Nagel just standing straight up, getting those long arms up.
Still time for the Mustangs to at least, make it close if they're able to hit some shots here.
15 points isn't impossible.
No, it's not.
Still have almost 8 minutes left.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but you got to just kind of chip away.
Well, we saw them pick up. What was it? They made a 3 and 2 two-point field goals.
Yeah. In
the span of about 1:30.
Yeah.
In the first half. So there's a field goal there, cutting the lead to 13. All it takes is a couple turnovers, a couple of fouls, and some better defense than what we just saw there. Full timeout from the Mavericks. So we will take a minute break. You are watching Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
Southwest Minnesota State University, where private school atmosphere meets public school cost. Programs like culinology, agronomy, and environmental science set the standard nationwide. where grad placement rates are over 97%. And the school invests in you, putting over $80 million back into the university. Southwest Minnesota State University, where you belong.
If you've had a stroke, the chances are good that you could have another one. But it doesn't have to happen. You could be a stroke smart star.
I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising again.
I'm keeping my blood pressure and cholesterol levels under control.
After 35 years, I quit smoking.
I always take my medicine.
If you take steps to improve your health, you'll greatly reduce your risk of another stroke. Talk to your doctor and go to stroke.org today.
I'm not going to have another stroke.
Welcome back. We are still in the RA facility on the campus of Southwest Minnesota State University. Mustangs trail Minnesota State Mankato 58-43, 7:22 left in the game. Mustangs are in the bonus and Mankato State is in the double bonus. So we've seen quite a few free throws here already in the last 3 or 4 minutes. And depending on how sloppy the game gets or how chippy it gets, you could see quite a few more.
That was a nice pass.
Yes. Nice cut to the basket. Rolling with another basket. She's having a good game today.
Yeah, Rolling has been really impressive so far this game. She has 13 points, 57% from the field. She's made her 1 3-point attempt plus 4 rebounds and 2 blocks in 23 minutes. Good game for her.
Davis comes down and hits the 3 though. Silence whatever momentum the crowd was feeling. Shega dribbles the ball off her own foot, turning the ball over. Another turnover for the Mustangs.
Yeah, it's been that's 20 now in the night. 20 turnovers for the Mustangs.
Feel like a broken record.
I know, me too. I think Allison Kruger probably does as well.
Mustangs accidentally had 6 players on the floor. Maybe the refs should have allowed that. See how it worked out. Just until the Mustangs pull to like 6.
Yeah.
Nice cut to the hoop.
And you could tell that, what was that, number 30? Can't quite tell. Looks like number 30 to me on our team. Yeah, Hope Bonlander. Looks like she had tried to get in there to take that charge, but got there maybe a little bit late.
Gangenbacher makes a nice cut to the hoop. We've said her name a lot tonight. She's having a great performance. Or not. Gangenbacher?
Oh, yeah, she's having a great game. Pardon me. 22 points, 50% shooting from the 3-point arc, 61% from the field, so she's having herself quite a good game. 5 steals, by the way, for Gangenbacher.
Count the basket by Tessa Rolling.
Nice shot there by Rolling.
Average foul at number 3, Aubrey Davis, her third
Yeah, they're trying to chip away. Rolling having one of her better games on the season, it appears here. 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks. She normally averages 7.1 points per game, so she's doubled that here in this game tonight.
Like we mentioned in the opener, both Rolling and Nagel came over from Iowa Central Community College as transfers. They're both juniors. So the two of them have some chemistry together, I would assume, having played at least a year together at the community college. Charge? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. Thought the referees were disagreeing on what the call was going to be.
Yeah, that might as well have been the internal monologue for Jessie Watts. A smile on her face. What? Smile on her face? Yeah, okay, I got it.
She was confused as I was.
Yeah, she was.
Not the only one. It's not looking good though. 17 points now with 5.5 minutes left. Tripping there as Rolling attempts to cut to the hoop.
Average foul number 24.
And that is the 10th foul for the Mavericks now, so Rowling will be shooting 2.
Coach of the Mavericks was not happy about that call either, telling the refs that that was a carry before the foul. She's quite animated as well.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of chitter chatter from both coaches. I'm sure
you have.
Folks at home can hear it coming through our microphones. We're sitting pretty close to the visitors' bench. I know I can hear the coach for the Mavericks in my headset.
Yeah, she's, I don't know, I'm going to say maybe 5'1", but she can yell.
Quite the Spitfire. Good defense there by the Mustangs.
Yeah, good job of
Get a little bit of trap. Bonlander with some tight defense, but better offense there from the Mavericks.
Yeah, it was Allie Wilkinson there. She's slowly making a little bit of a comeback here in the game. 10 points, now 41% shooting from the field. 7 rebounds. Doesn't have her double-double yet, but she may get there in due time.
One thing to keep in mind with this Mustang team is they're pretty young. They only have 1 senior on the team, Natalie Svensson, and she isn't even suited up tonight, so hopefully we will see more continued growth from this Mustangs team in the future.
Yeah, I mean, you see that with any team. You know, the longer that you get to play with them, you get to know each other's tendencies, the more successful you are generally.
They do have quite a few juniors, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do next year.
Some nice passing there for the Mavericks. They now have 10 assists on the evening. 11 assists, pardon me.
Good math.
Thank you.
Watts with the open 3. Banks it in. She's shaking her head in disgust with herself as she smiles on her way back.
Allison Kruger is not smiling right now. They're doing a good job of trying to cause some confusion here, but
not when you have 3 players attempting to trap, letting the ball carrier get by you, and then leaving a 3-on-2 situation.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit more aware of being able to get back on the shooter, not let them shoot that wide open 3.
Bonlander tied up there before she's able to get the ball off.
And this game is getting more and more out of reach for the Mustangs, now 71-52.
Yeah, we see mass subs now for both teams. For these last 3 minutes and 23 seconds, I think the Mustangs are conceding defeat here.
They hung in there, especially in the first half and for a little bit in the second half, and then just got away from them very quickly. Shot blocked.
Partially up.
And there, the Mavericks, ball movement for the most part, as you see there, has been really impressive all night long.
Rawling commits the fall there, and Olfers, but as she's going up for the shot attempt, gets her on the arm. Olfers powers through it though, makes the basket, and will be shooting one more to attempt to complete the 3-point opportunity. 21-point lead now. Swatted there. Get that out of Nagel's house.
Yeah, Nagel does not look happy with that. You can tell the team as a whole is just a little frustrated, I think, knowing that they hung in there for a while and let this opportunity kind of slip away. But
if the score was a little closer, I mean, you really don't want to do anything that would come even close to taunting when you're down by 21.
Right.
That situation would have been nice to see a Dikembe Mutombo finger wag.
Yeah,
the way she rejected that one.
Yeah, it was a nice block.
Nice shot attempt there, Megan DeRuyter.
And one constant here has been that on almost every play that's went well for the Mustangs, you're seeing Allison Nagel being involved in it. And they seem to be going to her now a little bit more at the end of the game to put the ball in her hands, but a little bit too late.
These are just learning experiences, though. I mean, you come in playing Mankato State, who is one of the better teams in the conference, and you know you have a young team. It's got to be, if there's any moral victories, which, I mean, the goal is to win the game.
Right.
So it's hard to come away with a moral victory. But being able to pull back at the end of that first half there, get it within 5 when you were trailing by 14, is something to build on.
Yeah, and like you mentioned earlier, I mean, it's a young team, so they have a lot of room still to grow, and they're still fighting, which is nice. You're not seeing the team here give up. A lot of times you'll see that, but they're still active on defense.
Yeah, even when down by 20, Bueller there, the first shot was blocked, as we see a 3-point attempt made. First shot was blocked on that last possession by the Mustangs. Bueller was able to get it underneath the hoop and put it back up with 1 second left on the shot clock.
Aubrey Davis having herself a game here from the field, 75% from beyond the 3-point line.
Checking in for the Mavericks, number 5, Sierra Myers. Checking in for the Mustangs, number 3.
It's not too bad.
No.
I think I'd probably tell her to just keep shooting.
The Mavericks have 5 players in double figures, and we see another 3-point attempt here.
Yeah, they've heated up now, 50% from beyond the 3-point line, and they've shot a lot of them too, 22, as opposed to only 13 for the Mustangs.
The Mavericks have just been shooting fantastically in the second half. At halftime, they had a 39% field goal percentage. Now, as we wind down 47 seconds left in the game, they are shooting 48% from the field. So they have increased that percentage by 9%.
Yeah, they are on fire now.
Which is a testament to the 82 points that they put up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a high score.
Mustangs still showing strong defense. That shot was way off. Back out to Olsen. Air ball's at 3. Rebound inside. Able to get it up and in as the shot clock was at 1 second.
That's going to do it here. Well, maybe not.
One more turnover, just for good measure.
Expect them to kind of hold up here, but the Mustangs aren't, so.
That was unnecessary.
Yeah, it really was.
Mustang ball number 34, Nessa Rush, her second person.
I guess they kind of want to stop them, though they don't want to be down by 30.
Shooting 2.
Now they're risking being down by 30, though. They definitely weren't going to shoot with 7 seconds left.
That's true. Well. They're up by 29.
Steven?
No, I'm bad at math.
Yeah, no, you were right. I was going to say that was 1/2 for Ashley Olsen. And there she makes the second.
You're trying to get me to do it.
I was doing it there for you.
No, I appreciate it.
No shot attempt for the Mustangs. That is the game. 86-56 is the final. Mustangs fought very hard in the first half. At one point, they were down by 14, cut the lead to 5 before ending the first half, trailing by 7. Really gets away from them in the second half. Shooting goes cold. Turnovers far too many, and Mankato State just gets on fire. So we will take a break, and when we come back, we will have a little bit more stats and wrap up for you. And then stick around. There's the men's game following tonight as well. That should be a great game. Mankato State has a top-notch men's program, as well as our Mustangs performing well so far this season. So we'll be back here soon. Stick around. We'll do some wrap-up, and we'll get out of here. Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.
Southwest Minnesota State University, where private school atmosphere meets public school cost. Programs like culinology, agronomy, and environmental science set the standard nationwide, where grad placement rates are over 97%. And the school invests in you, putting over $80 million back into the university. Southwest Minnesota State University, where you belong.
If you've had a stroke, the chances are good that you could have another one. But it doesn't have to happen. You could be a stroke smart star.
I'm eating healthy and I'm exercising again.
I'm keeping my blood pressure and cholesterol levels under control.
After 35 years, I quit smoking.
I always take my medicine.
If you take steps to improve your health, you'll greatly reduce your risk of another stroke. Talk to your doctor and go to stroke.org today.
I'm not going to have another stroke.
So we'll just give a quick wrap up here for the women's game as the men's teams are already out on the floor warming up.
Yeah, we'll go and keep this short, but really what it was is just a story of turnovers. 22 turnovers for the Mustangs, and just some really hot shooting, especially in the second half. For Minnesota State finished with 48% shooting from the field and 46% shooting from the three-point line.
And if we take a look at rebounds, look at that. In favor by 8 for Mankato State.
Just like we thought. Well, I mean, you know, there's really not too much to say when you have that many turnovers and you only shoot 23% from the three-point line. You're probably not going to win, and that was basically the story of the game tonight for the Mustangs.
Yep. So, women play again tomorrow against Concordia here at home. We will have that game for you on the television as well. So tune in for that. I think that's going to do it for us. We want to get out of here. Stick around though. In about 25 minutes or so, the men's game will begin. We have the Mustangs playing again Mankato State. So, Stephen, will you be calling that game?
I will be. I'll be here for the color, and Michael Sterling will be with me for play-by-play.
So stick around for Michael Sterling and Stephen Shega again. I pity you listeners.
I know.
Having to deal with Stephen Shega for more than an hour and a half. So
I'm sorry.
Thank you for joining us here today. Hope you enjoyed the game. Good effort from the Mustangs. Hopefully we'll see a stronger performance for them throughout the entire game tomorrow. So stick around, 25 minutes. Back here for the men's game. You're watching Mustang basketball on KSSU TV.